Mr. Beast is the Antichrist.
Well, not really. I don't actually think that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist, but now that I have your attention, I wanted to bring up something that has been all over the YouTube For You page for basically everybody. You can barely click onto YouTube at any point in the last 2 weeks and see, you can see anything related to Mr. Beast, whether it was his one video that he posted or the litany of exposed videos that have come out about him. And I wanted to give my opinion on some of these videos and kind of go over some of it and see what my personal opinion is on it. The reason I want to bring this up is I've always kind of been one of those people where I just assume that people are trying to do something for a good reason, that they're not just doing it to be bad people. Which, let me clarify, I'm not saying off the rip that Mr. Beast is doing any of this to be a bad person, but I want to kind of go into it and talk about my thought process on it, because there's something that I haven't really seen a lot of other people bring up that I saw a long time ago that really made me change the way that I think about it. But let me go ahead and just start talking about the main points that were in the Dogpack 404 video, i.e. the big video that busted the dam wide open. So in the original Dogpack 404 video, he talks a lot about how he uses child psychology and almost this kind of manipulation tactic to get kids to try to watch the videos.
They win big rewards.
Is he subscribed? You are subscribed. Here's some money. Have a good day.
Some of them feel like I just walk around with $1,000. It's like, oh, thanks for watching my videos.
Hit that subscribe button because you might bump into me in real life and it might make you a lot of money.
When people are devout followers of Mr. Beast, they get rewarded.
Which, yeah, a lot of people do that. Like, if you go to YouTube and you watch a random YouTube video, you're not watching somebody who you think is being produced by like a company or some sort of like conglomeration to make entertainment for a certain audience. The reason I like YouTube is I can go and I can watch somebody complete all the platinum trophies for all the Crash Bandicoot games. And that's just somebody doing it because they want to. There's an inherent sense of personality with each video that you watch. It's coming from somebody. It's not just manufactured entertainment. And for me, a long time ago, that's what Mr. Beast videos became. They became manufactured entertainment. Now, if you go back to some of his early videos, it's very simple things. It's watching Dance Dance Till You Die for 10 hours. It's counting to 2000. It's these simple things that, even though it's a singular person doing it, it's kind of just this general idea that anybody could do this, but he's willing to put himself through the effort to do it, which it still adds that individual kind of personality to the video, but you can kind of see where it's kind of hitting that generic area. But one of the points that the Dogpack video brings up is the fact that at the end of most videos, there's positive or negative reinforcement for specifically a younger audience for them to take action, for them to either subscribe for a cookie, or if you don't subscribe, I'm gonna slap you, you know, stuff like that, where it's not inherently a threat or inherently a promise. It's just kind of like a joke, but for a younger audience, they could see that and they go, oh, a cookie, yeah, sure. And then you click the button and then that's it. But it works. And so he talks about how Mr. Beast videos use this sort of child psychology to reinforce positive thoughts or negative thoughts to basically make a call to action. And that's something that you get whenever you go to a corporate level on almost anything. I dare you to look up any company that does not use some sort of advertising product that is not specifically centered on some sort of psychological response to get you to react to it, because that is what most advertisements are at this point. They're just trying to get you to buy stuff by any means possible. So that was that's my thought on the whole positive reinforcement things. I'm not too big on that. The ones that I really wanted to talk about were the 2 points of illegal lotteries and having people that he knows in the videos. These are two things that I have a ton of issues with. I'll go ahead and start off with talking about the involving people that he knows into these videos and giveaways. As previously stated, whenever you're like a small channel and you're first starting off, if you want to use people that you know in your videos, that's fine. Because if you're this small little YouTuber who, granted, probably has 10 to 20,000 viewers, it's not going to be that easy or financially easy to be able to just get people and create contests. But if you are committing to creating these contests, you should do your due diligence to make sure you're opening it up to as many people as you, I guess, can. And one of the main points he brings up with the people that he knows being in videos, I could kind of understand if you want to pick and choose these bigger names to put in your videos. Like having Logan Paul as a contestant is going to be much more attention grabbing than say someone like me. If you just have some random 1,000 subscriber YouTuber pop up in a video, nobody's going to know who that is. Nobody's going to care. So I could see it again from a financial company standpoint. That's the same thing with most big companies. You don't see big companies partnering or sponsoring super small creators. But the thing that I have issues with, and specifically in one of the videos that he brings up with the 100 girls versus 100 guys in different circles challenge, the fact that I don't care if you want to sit here and say, oh, it's hard for us to find female contestants for our contests. If you can't find the people to do it, then don't do it.
For her job, I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend. So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to MrBeast and oftentimes friends and family of MrBeast employees or just the employees themselves.
But when you're inherently misleading your audience that don't know that a couple of the people that are in this contest are one of your directors of personnel and even your personal girlfriend. Now, granted, if they don't win, it doesn't make it any less wrong, I should say. Now, if you're making it to where your girlfriend or your director of personnel intentionally win, then that could be an issue, like they do with Mac at the beginning of the Last to Leave the Circle challenge, where he's the first person to leave and wow, he gets a brand new car. What a shocker. See, that is something that's not a good thing to do. You're intentionally misleading your audience, and instead of giving these gifts or prizes to people that are actually participating in the contest, that are actually trying to get something out of it, you're just handing it to your best friend. Like, why? What's the point of doing this whole big video if it's just a plot for you to just give something to your friend? Just wait till Christmas and give them that Tesla. Why do you? Oh, I was about to say, why do you have to do it? It's for the views. It's always for the views. It's always to get people to look at the screen, to watch the video and go, wow, if I was in that video, I could have won that Tesla because I could have left first, when they don't know that Mac was probably set from the jump as soon as they started that challenge to just yeet out of there so he can get a brand new Tesla. I mean, he's part of the production. He's part of it in some way, shape, or form. He knows that there is going to be some sort of prize for the first person to leave.
Wait, he's about to be the first one out? That's unlike him.
Even though you got out first, I still have a prize for you. Just wait here.
Oh, first person out gets a car, and it just happened to be your friend Mac.
I don't see how you can inherently just sit there and say that, oh, this is a real video, that everybody who gets prizes, and granted, maybe the top 5 people are people that actually stood in the circle or did what they were supposed to do that entire time. But you're misleading your audience by doing that, which brings me back to my previous statement of it. There's no longer a personality in this video. It's all just crammed together gobbledygook that a big corporation is basically force-fed to you. So the having people that you know or that you're really good friends with being in videos is very misleading, and it's very bad for your whole brand of giving prizes to people that deserve it. But that's not as big as a point that I really want to talk about, and it's the illegal lotteries. So in the video, Dogpack explains that there are 3 criterias that you need to fit to have a legal lottery.
The FTC defines a lottery as containing 3 elements: a valuable prize, random chance, and consideration, which can be time or effort, but in most cases is just payment. To successfully run a contest or a sweepstakes, you must eliminate one of these factors. A contest, for example, eliminates chance, and a sweepstakes eliminates consideration. In determining if any MrBeast giveaways have been illegal lotteries, we need to identify a prize, which is distributed through random chance and cannot be won without spending money.
So of those 3 criteria, you need to be at least missing one. It can't fit all 3 of these criteria. If it does, then it's technically, under law, an illegal lottery. So those 3 things are the distribution of prize, determined by chance, and a person who pays consideration. So most likely the most common one is the pays for consideration. You could always just mail in, do something like that, but you have to have at least one of these missing from the pool to be able to have a legal lottery. And he has numerous different instances of this being completely mishandled the entire time, with all these different Facebook lives where they hop on, and for every time somebody buys a limited shirt, they'll sign it, and then they could throw in a gift, or they'll throw in an iPhone, or they'll do this and that. And my first thought when watching this was, okay, maybe they just messed it up. You know, this is a big undertaking, having a 6-hour live stream where you're continuously signing, continuously giving away gifts. You're going 24/7 for these entire 6 hours. I understand how a lot of things can be lost in the sauce basically here. I know that a lot of things can just get mixed up, and that's understandable, especially if you look at it from a point of view where it's these guys that are doing a live stream and they're just trying to give back to their viewers. That could get complicated. I don't know how to run my Streamlabs sometimes because I'm a moron and I'll forget how to do it 50% of the time. So when you look at it that way, you could almost kind of trick yourself into believing that, oh, maybe these guys are actually trying to do something good, and you could almost just feign incompetence and just kind of say, oh, they just don't know what they're doing, and maybe they're just messing it up, because they do this a lot. And there's instances of people online that are trying to contact the MrBeast crew because they never got the stuff that they were promised from winning. Their names would be read as a winner, and they just never got it, which is shady in itself.
Multiple people claiming that their name was read to win a prize and they never received it. This person is still tweeting about it to this day. Now, there's a lot more people complaining about the deceptive sales tactics.
That's why I've stuck away from any type of giveaways, because that's always dirty. It's basically just buying views also at the same point. But for someone to just sit there and almost kind of blatantly lie about the fact that they're giving away all these things to their viewers, they're giving away these expensive iPhones, PS5s, all these different items, which is going to up sales, because you tell them buy a shirt and you'll be entered in the next 30 minutes to possibly win a phone, or you can do all these different things. And I also just wanted to point this out before I got too far ahead on this comment. This is an L from the commenter. If you don't have the money for gifts or anything like that, don't spend the money you don't have on 5 t-shirts. This is effectively the same of going, oh, I spent all of my money to try to make sure to win the lottery so I wouldn't be able to get normal gifts for my family, but it's much more valuable if I could get them a mansion instead if I win the lottery. Like, you're making the wrong decisions here. And I was wanting to give them the benefit of the doubt and just say, oh, maybe they just don't know what they're doing, right? Maybe they're just way in over their heads. Maybe they had this idea to give back to their community and they were going to give out all these prizes, do everything they could to, you know, just really give back to the people that made them who they are. But as I referenced to in the beginning of the video, there's one thing that stops me from believing that. And it's this clip from a podcast that was done with MrBeast from almost 2 years ago.
And then imagine a different world where you have 4 friends who are also equally grinding in something similar. Friend number 1 makes a mistake on Friday. He teaches the other 4 people. Friend number 2 makes a mistake the next week, teaches everyone. And then like you're all learning from each other's mistakes. You're all constantly studying 24/7 and downloading each other. Like after a year, you're like 2 years ahead of the guy who was just solo. It really does make a difference, especially like my friend group when I was like, I met a bunch of people when I had 10,000 subscribers and we all like, we agreed not to drink, we didn't do drugs, like we didn't date, we didn't do anything. We just literally obsessed from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed. That's literally all we did.
So this clip is from a YouTube channel, Colin and Samir, where they do a lot of podcast style interview videos. And 2 years ago, they interviewed MrBeast. And in the clip, you can hear him talk about how around the time that he had 10,000 subscribers, he got a group of other creator friends, and all that they would ever do would just be focusing on what makes the best video, what makes the best thumbnail, what does the algorithm like. They would over obsess with how to create the best YouTube video. And on another side note, they also talked about how they agreed not to date, not to drink and do drugs, which you shouldn't drink and do drugs anyways, or play games. They completely cut everything off because they were focusing solely on making the best YouTube video that they could possibly make. And the reason I bring this up is this shows he has some sort of recollection of how he's going to try to go over everything to make sure he does the best thing that he can to make the best video that he can. And the reason I bring that up is because when it comes to those live streams, when it comes to having people that you know in your videos, when it comes to faking videos, you don't get to feign ignorance. You don't get to come back later and say, oh, those lotteries on Facebook, yeah, that was a mistake. We accidentally messed that up. I'm sorry, we didn't mean to do that. You don't get that option anymore. You have told the world, unless you're just, hey, I know you fake your videos, maybe you fake the way that you quote unquote look at YouTube also, but you told the world that you obsess so much on making the best video that there is no way that you can sit here and say that you didn't know that these were things that you couldn't do when it comes to lotteries. If you are this big company, as I said a long time ago, the reason that I changed the way that I looked at MrBeast was because of this interview. When I was trying to start my YouTube channel and I was trying to find better ways to edit, save time, I watched this interview. And as soon as I heard that, MrBeast in that moment went from being a YouTube personality, someone who makes videos for people to enjoy, to being a corporation. You don't get to make videos and keep the personality in them when you've said it yourself that your whole objective is to make good YouTube videos, to make videos that the algorithm likes, to make videos that are going to get you more views. I understand YouTube, the whole point of YouTube is you need to get views to make a living. I understand that, trust me. But when it comes to stuff like illegal lotteries, putting your friends in the videos, faking your videos, you don't just get to go back on it and try to act like you didn't know what was going on. And that's what I feel like puts him in a much worse situation now, is that he outed himself. He's shown that he knows what he did was most likely bad. And so I'd be interested to see what he does to try to fix this. I know I'm a little late to this. There's the second video that came out with the other guy, which also has some absolutely like terrifying moments in that video as well. But I wanted to talk about this because this one clip from this podcast is what's really set the way that I think about MrBeast for a while. And I wanted to bring this to attention to other people because I feel like this doesn't get talked about enough also. But I just wanted to talk about this. I thought it'd be something interesting. I know I'm a little late on this video, but like I said, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. But let me know, do you think MrBeast is the Antichrist? I don't know. I don't think it's that serious, but I just wanted to talk. I thought it'd be interesting. So if you have any comments on it, leave them in the comments below, and hopefully I can make more videos in a more timely manner.